Welcome to Circuit Concepts. We're a small family-owned business located in Rochester, Minnesota. While Rochester may be better known for the world-famous Mayo Clinic, IBM's expansive computer complex, and is a popular winter retreat for thousands of Canadian geese, Circuit Concepts has also made a few notable contributions to the fame of its hometown. For example, Vern Scari, founder of Circuit Concepts, was nominated and accepted into Who's Who in the International Directory of Distinguished Leadership for his contribution to the miniatures industry. Circuit Concepts captured national media attention in 1987 for its part in creating the Robie Award-winning Sprout Magic Lamp for the Pillsbury Corporation. In addition, Circuit Concepts miniature wiring and lighting products have been used in several Hollywood and Broadway stage productions. So, as you see, we've brushed the outer fringes of fame once or twice ourselves. What that means to you is the assurance that you'll be working with the highest quality, most reliable wiring and lighting products in the business. While we're proud that our products have been singled out and selected for use in other industries, Circuit Concepts will always remain dedicated to meeting the wiring and lighting needs of miniature enthusiasts like yourself.
As a miniature hobbyist, I understand the magic of creating miniatures that rival reality. Nothing adds more realism or inviting warmth to a dollhouse than the addition of electrical lighting. But if you're like most people, the thought of doing it yourself is just too intimidating. Well, we wanted to change all that. We felt if we could simplify the wiring process, we could encourage more people to experience the pride that comes from doing it yourself. I'm happy to say after a long and concentrated research program, we met and surpassed our own expectations for success by developing a method of wiring that gives anyone from first-time builders to master electricians the confidence to successfully wire their houses without any electrical knowledge. Both my wife Corey and myself have dedicated our business to meeting the exacting specifications of the miniature purist.
Since Vern introduced his first product in 1976, we have made great strides towards absolute truism with our perfectly scaled wall outlets, plugs, and switches that complement today's wide selection of furnishings. But the most rewarding part of our business has been teaching hundreds of men and women how to add the finished look of lighting to their dollhouses or their room boxes. Now, with the help of our video and our exclusive Circuit Concepts method, you'll be wiring like a pro right from the start.
And on that, you have our word.
No one feature of a dollhouse is as dramatic as the addition of lighting. Its presence brings to life all the small and valued treasures that might otherwise be lost. The magic that is a dollhouse can only be enhanced by the glow of lamps and fixtures that shine from within. Dollhouse wiring and lighting is not new. In fact, it's an art form that predates the 20th century. It was used extensively in the Queen Mary and Colleen Moore dollhouses of the 20s and 30s. While the finished look of these exquisite collectibles hasn't changed, the technology has. The Circuit Concept completely eliminates the complex array of wire and electrical parts of the past and replaces them with an electrical wiring method for interior and exterior lighting that's safe, fun, easy to cover with just a coat or two of paint, and best of all, you can do it yourself without any previous electrical knowledge. The Circuit Concepts electrical system may be installed in virtually any type of dollhouse or miniature room. Our system is available in convenient kits that take the guesswork out of calculating your specific requirements. The Circuit Concepts Room Box Kit is designed for shadow boxes and small miniature rooms. Our starter kit contains everything you'll need to completely wire a 6-room dollhouse. The basic wiring kit is similar to the starter kit, but without the transformer. The large house kit has all the basic starter kit items, plus a double quantity of tape wire to allow for complete wiring of a 10 to 12-room dollhouse. And finally, our deluxe kit, which includes everything from the large house kit, plus working outlets, plugs, and 2-cut glass ceiling fixtures. So you see, no matter what size project you have in mind, Circuit Concepts has the products that fit. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes our kits so easy to use. The heart of this unique electrical system is a paper-thin, pressure-sensitive, adhesive-backed conductive tape called tape wire. Look closely. You'll see two color-coded copper strips embedded right into the tape itself. These strips, or foils as they're called, are what will carry the electricity from room to room. To simplify, imagine the copper foils as two one-way streets. One street, or foil, carries the current out, while the other carries it back. Along the way, individual lights, each in an identical way, may be connected between the streets. The electricity itself is provided by a transformer, which reduces the house current from a regular wall outlet to a safe and more usable 12 volts. On the transformer, you'll find two screws. Before plugging it into the wall, loosen each of the two screws. Then connect the lead-in wire as we're doing here. The lead-in wire then plugs directly into the junction splice mounted on the first dollhouse tape run. To review, we begin by reducing or transforming electricity from your wall outlet. Next, we connected the lead-in wire to the transformer. The lead-in wire carried electricity to the junction splice, which is pounded into the first tape wire run. Subsequent tape wire runs then carry the electricity to each light in succession. To ensure the success of your wiring project, we hope you'll watch the instructional portion of this video as many times as needed to fully understand each step in the process. Taking the time to learn and understand the installation process now can mean the difference between a system that lights the very first time you try it versus one that doesn't, costing you unnecessary rework and wasted materials. As you begin your project, make sure you have the following tools within handy reach: a razor blade or X-Acto knife, scissors, tweezers, or needle nose pliers, a small hammer, ruler, screwdriver, pencil, and a roll of tape wire. Now that you have all the electrical knowledge and tools you'll need to wire like a pro, you're ready for the first step. Before tape wiring your house, the interior should be primed with 1 or 2 coats of a sealer such as gesso. Doing so will provide a much smoother surface for adhesion of the tape. The first step in the circuit tape wiring method is to plan the layout. If your dollhouse is to be lit with individual lamps and fixtures, and you've already purchased the furnishings, go ahead and arrange them as you want them in your finished rooms. This will help you in determining the proper locations for lamps, wall lights, chandeliers, and fireplaces in relationship to furniture, as well as give you a well-thought-out plan for all wiring runs. We also understand that much of the enjoyment and romance of miniature decorating comes from adding that perfect lamp or fixture as you find it. The circuit tape wiring method gives you that flexibility without major reconstruction. So if you have plans to add fixtures at a later date, simply plan for tape wire runs to those locations where additions might be installed. As a rule of thumb, try this. Consider 3 lights for a living room, 2 table lamps for each bedroom, and overhead lamps for the dining room, kitchen, bathroom, and hallway. You'll also want to plan the location of lights for easy access if the need should arise to service a burned-out bulb. If you're planning on outlets, allow for more than necessary in the beginning for easy addition of lights in the future. Outlets, ceiling fixtures, lamp wires, and slide switches may be added even after paint or wallpaper has been applied. Simply locate the copper foils by sight or feel, or if your Circuit Concepts tape wire kit includes a test probe, push the needles through the wallpaper. When contact is made with the foils, the test probe will light. The test probe holes will then serve as marker holes for the new addition. Either way, you'll want to make a sketch on paper or take a photograph of the entire electrical system before you paint or wallpaper. You'll be glad you did later. Here's an example of a sketch we made. We cheated a bit by using a computer, but even if you're the worst artist in the world, you'll be able to draw well enough to meet your planning needs. First, you'll want to decide whether your junction splice should begin at the lower left or right of your dollhouse. To help make this determination, consider where your finished showpiece will be displayed with regard to wall outlets in your home. Then, starting at the junction splice, begin to plan your tape runs. In our diagram, we use the front edges of walls and ceilings for the main power runs. Taps may then be taken off these main runs for any room at any location for any purpose. Note that our sketch also includes a key to remind ourselves exactly what type of fixture we plan to use in each room. The outlets, for example, are small rectangles. For wall sconces, we've used hexagons. Ceiling canopies are marked as triangles, and large and small ceiling globes as large and small circles. If you're planning to use electrical switches in your dollhouse, use a rectangle with a noticeable dot at its center. One thing to keep in mind when planning for wall switches is that power from an uninterrupted tape run must be brought to each room as we've done here. We'll explain this in more detail later in the video. Once you've finished wiring your dollhouse, file your sketch away as a permanent wiring record. You'll find it useful for future add-ons and troubleshooting. Now that you've completed your tape run on paper and have filed a copy away, you're ready to move on to the interior of your dollhouse or room box. Using a pencil to allow for mistakes and changes, draw a single line on each surface where actual wiring runs are to be made. Take care to draw your pencil line where the center of the tape wire will be so you'll be able to follow it with ease when you begin the installation process. If you plan on installing circuit wall outlets, you can achieve to scale placement by running the pencil line 1 3/16 inches above the floor. That's it. You're ready for the next step. Now you're entering into the real heart and soul of electrifying your dollhouse, your first tape run. Don't worry, you're ready. Note that one copper strip is colored red and the other blue. Color coding the copper strips in this manner greatly simplifies the making of corners during the wiring process. Begin by removing the paper backing from the tape to expose a portion of the adhesive side. Take care not to touch the adhesive once it's exposed. Our first tape run will start at the junction splice location, proceed around the back of the dollhouse, and continue along the facing edge of the first floor. This tape run will serve as the main power bus for the dollhouse. Following your pencil line, apply the tape adhesive side down directly over the line. To keep wrinkles from forming during the laying process, keep your tape as straight and taut as possible, and if necessary, go over it periodically with a credit card, as we're doing here. When you reach the end of the run, simply snip the tape and press with credit card to ensure that it securely adheres to the wood. Once your first tape run is in place, you're ready to install the junction splice. We suggest you recess the junction splice 1.5 inches back from the corner of the building to allow support of the lead wire when it's connected. Now, simply pound the junction splice through the copper foils and secure its position by tightening the built-in screw. Next, connect the transformer lead-in wire to the junction splice as we're doing here, and you're ready for the moment of truth. Using the circuit test probe that came with your kit, push the test probe needles into the copper foils just beyond the junction splice. The test probe should light. If not, check to make sure the transformer is plugged in and the lead-in wire is switched on. Now that you're practically a master electrician, you're ready for your second tape run and first junction. Our second tape run will be a vertical run along the facing edge of the dollhouse's outside left wall. This run will act as the main power bus for the second and third floors. Start the tape run where the third floor and outside wall meet, and continue down the facing edge of the wall. Overlap the tapes at the bottom to form a T, and cut. Making the T connection does not in itself make an electrical connection. That's where the 1/8 inch brads come in. Using the pilot hole punch provided in your wiring kit, make 4 small starter holes on the diagonal as we're doing here. Punch 2 holes at the juncture of the blue foils and 2 more at the juncture of the red foils. Now, Using a needle nose pliers or tweezers, simply place the 4 brads in the holes and tap them into the wood. Installing the brads in this manner will ensure proper electrical continuity throughout the structure and eliminate the possibility of creating a short. 2 brads are used at each copper foil cross point to double the reliability of the connection. Once the brads are in place, use the test probe to ensure that power is present in the vertical tape run. Always remember to conduct a test using the test probe each time a corner is completed. After your second tape run has checked out okay, you're ready to wire a first floor room. This time, you'll be starting where the pencil line from your room meets the vertical dollhouse tape run and continues into the room as the sketch indicates. Make a T overlap on the vertical run as before and continue into the room following the pencil line. Again, make sure your pencil line remains between the 2 copper foils and the tape remains taut. Use a credit card to ensure a smooth, tight fit at the corner and cut the tape at the doorway. Remember to insert the brass brads as before and check for power with the test probe. You now have an uninterrupted power source running into the room. This power source allows you to tap power for tape runs that will activate any type of electrical accessories such as outlets, switches, sconces, and ceiling fixtures. To help ensure the success of your project, Circuit Concepts offers a full selection of electrical accessories that complement the simplicity of tape wiring. Each perfectly scaled piece comes with detailed instructions and, like all our products, is designed for quick and easy installation without electrical knowledge. Since this is more than likely your first tape wiring project, you may want to pause in your first room to follow along with the video. The accessories to be installed in our dollhouse will include an outlet, switch, sconce adapters, and a ceiling canopy. You may want to purchase the circuit products that apply to your project in advance to familiarize yourself with them and to follow along with our instructions, or simply come back to this section for a refresher when you're ready. We'll begin with preliminary installation techniques for wall outlets. The wall outlets won't actually be installed at this time. Instead, we'll simply mark the locations and wait to pound them into position after we've wallpapered the room. First, using your sketch for referral, mark your outlet installation locations with a pencil. Now, taking a look at the back side of the outlet, you'll find 2 nails which make electrical contact with the copper foils. The nails are offset to allow vertical mounting, regardless of the direction of your tape run. Using the nails on the outlet, we'll make indentation marks in the copper foils below our pencil marks. Next, we'll pound 1/4-inch brads partially into the marker locations. Then, in a later step, when wallpapering, these brads will be pushed through the wallpaper to indicate the exact locations for mounting the outlets on top of the wallpaper. This will eliminate the need for cutting the wallpaper or using the test probe to find the tape run. Our next installation will be the 2 vertical tape runs that will carry electricity to each of 2 wall sconce locations. After the room has been wallpapered, we will also be installing our CK801 sconce adapter eyelets. The sconce adapters allow for easy installation of sconces directly into the tape runs. To wire your sconce runs, cut 2 5-inch pieces of tape and install along your vertical pencil lines to the wall sconce locations you've selected. Make electrical connection to the main tape run, blue strip to blue strip and red strip to red strip, with 1/8-inch brads, and test for power with your test probe. Now, to create a typical scale height for wall sconces, draw a horizontal pencil line across each vertical tape run at a distance 5½ inches up from the floor. Use the test probe to make marker holes at the pencil line and copper foil intersection points. The test probe needles are spaced identically to the sconce adapter, which will eventually be plugged in at this point. To finish the preliminary sconce run, simply pound 1/4-inch brads partway into your marker holes. Now, we'll move on to the next vertical tape run, the tape run to our ceiling chandelier. Begin the tape run at a point slightly beyond your predetermined chandelier mark on the ceiling. Lay the tape along the ceiling and wall pencil lines down to the main power run. Cut the tape brass brad in and test for power. The CK800 ceiling canopy allows for easy removal and installation of almost any ceiling chandelier. It comes in two pieces, a circular disc with embedded brass nails and a brass-plated housing assembly. Since most ceilings are painted, we'll pause to install the CK800 ceiling canopy disc now and paint around it later. First, pound the disc into the tape run at the location you've marked on the ceiling. Make sure that one nail connects with each copper foil. Next, wire your ceiling chandelier to the removable brass housing and connect it with a twist to the installed disc. If power is present, the chandelier will light. For now, simply disconnect the chandelier, but keep it handy because we'll be using it to test for power after our next installation, the on-off switch. Use a razor blade or X-Acto knife to make a 1/16 inch cut in the upper foil where the switch pencil line meets the main tape run. When installed, the switch will in effect make or break the connection across the cut to allow control of room lighting. Now, cut a 4-inch piece of tape, place one end over the 1/16 inch cut and continue up the wall to the switch location. Then, install a set of brads on each side of the cut where the copper foils overlap. When installing a switch tape run, the color coding rule is slightly modified as we're working with only one copper foil. In this instance, a blue connection is made on the left and the red connection is made on the right. To achieve typical scale height for your wall switch, draw a horizontal pencil line across the vertical tape run at a distance of 4.5 inches up from the floor. Using the nails on the assembled switch, make indentation marks in the copper foils at the pencil line height and again, pound 1/4 inch brads partially in at these points. To test your tape run for power, reinstall the chandelier and short across the 1/4 inch brads with a screwdriver. Your chandelier should light. And with that, congratulations are in order. You've just successfully tape wired your first room and officially have all the electrical knowledge you need to wire the rest of your dollhouse. So go ahead and finish laying tape runs, canopy discs, and 1/4 inch brads until the house is completely wired. And remember to test each run as it's completed. Once you've finished the wiring, you'll want to wallpaper and paint before returning to the final step. So let's begin by removing the 1/4 inch brads used to mark the switch location. Then, taking care to match the nails with the marker holes, take your wall switch and pound it into the wall. Ensure the switch is mounted with the on position facing up. To check for proper operation of your switch, install the ceiling chandelier as before and slide the switch up and down. The chandelier should turn on and off as the switch is operated. Leave the switch in the on position and remove the chandelier. So far, so good. The next step is to remove the 1/4 inch brads at the sconce locations and drill number 55 size holes directly into the marker holes using the circuit mini drill. Once the holes are drilled, you're ready to install the eyelets that come with your circuit sconce adapter. The eyelets are inserted using the pilot hole punch that comes with all Circuit Concepts wiring kits. To ease installation, place the eyelet over the needle and push the eyelet into the drilled hole. Repeat the process for each of the remaining holes. This is what your finished eyelet installation should look like. Instructions for the assembly of these adapters are included with each package. Simply push the sconces into their respective sockets and each one should light. Our final step is to remove the brads from the outlet locations. Once they've been removed, go ahead and pound the outlets into the pilot holes. The CK1003 wall outlet is designed for use with our CK1004-2 plug. Here we show a table lamp wired with this plug. Instructions for assembling the plug and connecting it to both floor and table lamps are included in each package. If you've already assembled your plug and lamp, try it out. Plug it in, and when it lights, you're ready to finish the rest of your installation. And then the fun begins.
Vern and I are proud to have brought the magic and wonder of lighting to thousands of miniature hobbyists who never thought they could do it on their own.
And now that you've watched our video, we'll hope you have the confidence to add a new dimension of realism and charm to your heirlooms and collectibles. So go ahead and get started. Not only will you enjoy the ease of installation, but you'll experience a new sense of pride when you tell admirers that you wired it yourself. When you've finished, drop us a line to tell us what you thought of our products. And send a picture if you can. We'll look forward to hearing from you.